I'm finally tackling the area around resident services, which is always a struggle for me when it comes to island design because resident services has such a specific aesthetic that it can be really hard to plan around, especially depending on the theme that you're going for. In my case, I actually decorated the backdrop of resident services first. It was the first thing that I did on this island because I wanted to get it out of the way, even before the entrance. Then I built the little plaza in the front, and now in this video I'm going to show you how I decorated the cafe and the reading area on each side of resident services. But before I jump into the video, I want to remind you to please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. It really helps me grow my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you do. That being said, let's get started. First, I started with the left side of resident services, which is the cafe. I began by placing this custom design that looks like wooden planks, and since it's very blocky and square, I added some wheat fields on the sides to help soften the edges. Then I started laying down the white tiles, the ones I use all over the island, and I placed them very quickly for you because I'm editing this. And I then added the castle gates and castle walls to give the build some structure and to separate the deck area from the front area. I also went back and erased a few of the white tiles to make it look a little bit more worn and natural. Then I started placing the items, and I do think that the stars of this show are the garden wagons. I really love them. I think they're the perfect Springcore item, and they're going to be everywhere on this island. Here I'm using them kind of like a fence to separate the build from the rest of the entrance. Then I placed the tables and chairs. You will see me going back and forth a little. I ended up changing the table and also the chair on the right side in just a bit. I added the miscellaneous items on top of the tables and counters to give it that, finished cafe look. And I started with the flowers that lead up to the cafe, and added some white tiles coming from the main road so you can reach the cafe without stepping on the flowers. Here's where I placed the new chairs. I ended up going with the wedding chairs on the right side, and I started decorating the back. Obviously, I had to begin with some more wheat fields and, party lights, because at this point, you're gonna see them everywhere, just like the garden wagons. Then Stitches show up and decided to test out the build, which was adorable, and the timing was perfect. For this build, I used the same tables and chairs as in the front area, and I added some decorations on top to keep everything consistent with the cafe theme. I also used a bistro table. I wanted to use more, but they're kind of a pain to work with because there's this weird gap between the seat and the table, so it's very uncomfortable to use them. And finally, I finished off the build with some ruined pillars and Nova lights on top to add a little glow. And that would be the final result of the cafe. The left side of resident services is finally done. After finishing the left side, I got the idea of swap out some of the flowers for glowing moss, mainly because I love how it looks at night. Even though this is not going to be a nighttime island, I usually play at night or super early in the morning, so I really enjoy having a bunch of light sources scattered around. And honestly, I think glowing moss looks so good mixed in with the flowers. Also, side note, I know I just said that I love glowing moss, but I almost rage quit placing this because what do you mean I placed this piece of glowing moss 5 times, and 5 times the game gave me the exact same piece every time? And then it happened again on the other side. I really cannot make this up. Like, thankfully, I recorded everything because I needed this documented. Now we're starting with the right side. I just had some random, trees here, but I noticed that my villagers love hanging out in this spot all the time. You can literally see Gala sitting over there with a book, so that's, the perfect timing to prove my point. I actually started this build on stream, and I will be finishing more areas of my stream live as well. So if you like to hang out while I build, feel free to follow me and catch a stream. So I began by erasing whatever was there before, and I laid down the signature white tiles that I use all around the island. Then I started working on this mini build, which is one that I use very often. I first found this layout from a creator called Yancha Girl on Pinterest a while ago, and I truly became obsessed because it's such a cute structure and it's super versatile and you can reuse it in so many ways. Basically, with this one, you create a fake structure by using a stonework kitchen because of the roof, and then you pair it with a stall and you cover the kitchen with simple panels, and in this way you can give the illusion that it's a tiny shop or a tiny stand. Once the structure was set the way I wanted it to, I added some more white tiles in the front. I started decorating the area, placed 2 cherry blossom trees to the sides, some books on top of the stall, and a few cushions for the little worker of this reading spot, which is the bubloid. So I did have to stop streaming because I got really stuck. There was something bothering me that I couldn't figure out what it was. And this is what I originally had at the end of the stream, but I ended up redoing it off camera. Eventually, I realized it was just the color palette of the custom design. It didn't work with the rest of the build. So I switched everything to this rose custom design, and immediately everything felt right. And that was it. That was the whole issue. I really wanted this space to feel cozy. This is why I placed a lot of cushions and a lot of seating areas so they can just sit there with a good book, basically. And finally, I place the last details, some flowers, more custom designs, the usual. Then I placed a mom cushion to finish off the entire area, and that is the final result of the right side of resident services. Okay guys, so this is going to be the end for now. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know in the comments, what did you like? What build would you like to see me do next? And remember that I'll be streaming, so feel free to catch a stream anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!